Prime Minister Andrew Holness today officially launched the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference, a signature event on the calendar for the Jamaica 60 celebrations hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Here is Colleen May with more on this story.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, in officially launching the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference today, assured the diaspora of the country's commitment to take actions to facilitate strengthening of their relations.
I want to assure our diaspora that in response to your desire to work with us, we are committed to take action to facilitate the strengthening of our relations, which will include strengthening the communication channels, aligning diaspora engagement activities across ministries, departments, and agencies, increasing the interface with diaspora organizations across the globe, expanding our outreach beyond the traditional diaspora locations, and deepening the cultural connectivity and linkages among the second, third, and fourth generation of Jamaicans. I wish to underscore that a successful partnership at all levels among the government, the private sector, and the diaspora is crucial if we are to support the growth agenda in a meaningful way. This inclusive approach is indeed part of the legacy of the diaspora conferences over the years and is one that will continue to guide our approach in the years to come. I commend the Planning Committee, which is so ably led by Senator Don Webby, Group CEO of Grace Kennedy Limited, and includes other legacy partners such as Jamaica National and VMBS. I thank them for their continued support and interest in engaging with the diaspora, including through our biennial conferences.
Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, in her remarks, said that the government recognizes the diaspora's integral part in branded Jamaica and is working towards facilitating a much easier way for persons in the diaspora to contribute to Jamaica's development.
We intend to continue to do more to transform the relationship between Jamaica and our diaspora into a more strategic, mutually beneficial relationship. We recognize that our diaspora members are an integral part of Brand Jamaica and are strong advocates for Jamaica and Jamaicans wherever they reside. We want to make it easier for the diaspora to contribute to Jamaica's sustainable development while simultaneously assisting members of the diaspora to address social and economic issues that directly affect them in their host countries and indeed to prosper in the countries where they reside. This will require the integration of diaspora-related issues into government, policies, plans, and programs, and you will recognize that this work has already started, as you will see the changes customs have made in terms of digitization that allows returning residents better facilitation on their way home. TAJ has implemented many processes, so now you can pay online even before you travel to Jamaica. So when you vacation here, you can really vacation instead of spending all your time. You can register with the company's office online when you're coming to invest, and then you can look about the business when you come home. So we are actually unfolding and mainstreaming these policies, and I hope that you are truly feeling the results as you engage with us.
Minister Johnson-Smith also said that the need to deepen the country's engagement with the diaspora is a clear philosophy of the government of Jamaica.
The government recognizes that our nationals overseas are key actors on the international stage and that your sphere of influence in your host countries are of tremendous value to Jamaica. As investors, philanthropists, bridge builders, brand ambassadors, lobbyists, marketers, and of course, consumers. Right, Mr. Chairman? The need to deepen our engagement is a clear and ever-present guiding philosophy of this ministry. And it is my hope that the conference will provide the necessary forum to widen our discussions on issues such as digital public service delivery, digital skills for the general workforce, digital infrastructure, cybersecurity, and reliable, secure data flows. These discussions will allow Jamaica to position herself more strategically in the global political economy. to utilize our collective experiences, knowledge, social, human, and economic capital to truly transform Jamaica in all its dimensions. With your help, we will exceed the target of 5,000 registered participants, setting the stage for wider engagement and harnessing the true potential of all of us, both at home and abroad.
The Jamaica Promotions Corporation JAMPRO's chairman, Senator Don Weeby, invites persons in the diaspora to engage with JAMPRO to navigate their investments in the island.
Our objective is really to roll in the red tape and roll out the red carpet for all investors. And I want to invite the diaspora to speak to JAMPRO so they can help you to navigate your investment needs in Jamaica. And I also want to support, and I really believe very strongly that agriculture, agro-processing is going to be a huge growth area for Jamaica. And I personally see the diaspora playing an integral role in that area. Jamaicans living anywhere in the world can function in a very productive way to work for their beloved country, Jamaica, whether in the capacity as a private sector leader or a private sector person, or even in the public sector leader of the opposition. The world has changed with new technology of the Zoom, etc. So I see this also as a big opportunity of where we can work closer with the diaspora, because it's now a borderless world, and the technology is there to support that interaction.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
In other news tonight, an elderly man was killed in a fire at his house in Mount Carey, St. James early this morning. The deceased has been identified as 85-year-old Frederick Inararity. Residents reported that flames were seen coming from his house at around 3 a.m. and calls were made to the fire department. The one-bedroom house was destroyed. The remains of the senior citizen were found during cooling down operations by firefighters. Now, the death of the former laborer has left the community in shock. The cause of the fire is being investigated. We will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. Still making the news tonight, members of the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force, JAGTF, working alongside the St. Catherine North Police Division, seized 2 illegal firearms and arrested 3 men during a pre-dawn operation at Johns Road in St. Catherine today. Reports coming into our news center are that members of the security forces were conducting an operation on a targeted premises when the team was fired upon by a group of gunmen. The gunfire was returned, and during the exchange, one of the men was shot and injured, while 2 of the men were subdued and taken into custody at the Spanish Town Police Station. 2 firearms, 59mm rounds of ammunition, and a ballistic vest were subsequently seized. The injured man was taken to the hospital for treatment. Now, as the investigation continues, the JAGTF invites anyone with information relating to guns, gangs, and gunmen, or any other matter of a national security nature to call Crime Stop at 311, the NIB tip line at 811, or the JDF tip line at 876-837-8888. In other news, preliminary charges have been laid against the security officer at the center of a fraud investigation following a fire at a bank in Port Antonio, Portland. He has been identified as 31-year-old Calvin Hill of Pleasant Hill in the parish. Hill is to face the Portland Parish Court on Tuesday, May 10, to answer to charges of arson, counting, housebreaking, and creating public mischief. Meanwhile, he remains under investigation for fraud, as information gleaned so far in the probe suggests that during the period of his employment, Hill reportedly used his position to steal an undetermined sum of cash from the bank. Still in Mello TV News tonight, Member of Parliament for Western Kingston Desmond McKenzie says he is worried that the death of national under-19 footballer and Cavalier Football Club striker Omar Ling was not met with more outrage.
And what is worrying me is that I don't see nobody demonstrate for the death of this young, innocent school footballer. Not one demonstration. But make the police carry out them job. Roadblock. Innocence, man. No, do not. Drake needs to send a strong message. And it has to start here at St. Andrew Technical. Because the country cannot afford to lose its future at the rate we are going because of criminal elements in this country who continue to challenge the state.
Lane,
What
a
is
student
worrying
of
me
stats, was fatally shot in a drive-by on Charles Street in West Kingston on Friday, April 22. He was celebrating his 18th birthday when he was shot. Lane was also the leading goal scorer for Stats last year during the ISA Digicel Manning Cup competition. Speaking at the official opening of a cluster of bathrooms at the St. Andrew Technical High School Stats yesterday, Mackenzie called on students and staff to support the government as it attempts to curtail the surge of violence in the country.
The state is not going to lie down and allow criminals, terrorists to take over this country. The government has been responding, and I am calling on students, teachers, everybody to support the efforts of the government against this element that is bent on destroying the country. You are in mourning.
We turn our attention now to tonight's COVID-19 update, where the Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 191 new COVID-19 cases and 1 death in the country's latest COVID-19 report. Now, this increases the infection total to 130,787 and total deaths now to 2,973. There were also 106 recoveries in the last 24 hours, increasing the total of recovered persons to 84,150. In our parish breakdown, Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 49 cases, St. Anne recorded 41 cases, St. James 37 cases, St. Catherine 20 cases, Westmoreland recorded 10 cases, Trelawney and Manchester recorded 9 cases each. Clarendon recorded 6 cases. St. Elizabeth recorded 5 cases. St. Mary recorded 3 cases, while St. Thomas and Hanover recorded 1 case each. The new cases comprise 103 females and 88 males ranging in age from 20 days to 81 years. Meanwhile, the deceased is a 72-year-old male from St. Catherine, whose death was previously classified as under investigation. Continuing with the news tonight, the European Union, EU, has set aside an initial 30 million euros to support Jamaica in the areas of digital transformation, climate change resilience, and improved governance, human rights, and citizen security up to 2027. Ambassador of the delegation of the EU to Jamaica, Her Excellency Marianne Van Steen, who made the disclosure, noted that these areas have been identified as priorities of the Jamaican government. Ambassador Van Steen noted that the EU, which has been in partnership with Jamaica for the past 47 years, has just begun a new 7-year cycle of support to the country, which runs from 2021 to 2027. The initial support is for the period 2021 to 2024, and the ambassador explained that the EU will certainly provide a top-up in 2024 for the rest of the years until 2027, once it is determined that the money has been well used. Now, this new partnership will focus on the implementation of reforms to assist Jamaica's goal of achieving an inclusive and resilient digital economy and society. it will improve the country's resilience to natural hazards through climate change adaptation and provide support to address crime and violence. Still tonight, the Portmore Informatics Park that is being developed at a cost of $3.5 billion under the management of the Kingston Free Zone Company Limited was commissioned by Prime Minister Andrew Holness yesterday. Here is Colleen May with the details.
New state-of-the-art business process outsourcing BPO office spaces at the Portmore Informatics Park in St. Catherine were commissioned by Prime Minister Andrew Holness yesterday. Mr. Holness said that the development is in furtherance of the government's priority to support the global services sector, and more importantly, it aligns with the government's strategic objectives to develop Jamaica's newest parish and enable its citizens to thrive.
This development that we are unveiling today was built by the Port Authority of Jamaica at a cost of $3.6 billion. And it is in furtherance of our priority as a government to support the global services sector. And more importantly, it aligns with our strategic objectives to develop Jamaica's newest parish and to enable its citizens to thrive. The construction of 157,000 square feet of new space increased the Port Authority's BPO space in Portmore by 300% and complements the 50,000 square feet that previously existed. And this development also includes the upgrading of the original areas and buildings and overall space created for parking. And I understand that the 4 three-story buildings have already been leased to 4 companies and currently have over 2,000 employees already in place.
He noted that Portmore is ideal for BPO developments as it has the highest concentration of university graduates in Jamaica and is therefore ready to tap into the knowledge economy through this industry.
Portmore has the highest concentration of university graduates in Jamaica. Portmore does. It is absolutely now well positioned to become the Silicon Valley of Jamaica. It does take leadership. It takes people who can dream about these things, but it also takes leadership that with eyes wide open can vision it happening and can instrumentally, deliberately, patiently put together all the pieces of the puzzle to ensure that it happens. We need to be creating the knowledge economy here. And how do we enter this economy, the knowledge economy? Well, one way to start would be with business processing and knowledge processing. And that is why I have supported and encouraged the Port Authority and other private sector companies to build these facilities so that you can start to now really create the knowledge economy in Portmore.
He argued that while the BPO sector has challenges, it is putting income in the pockets of over 52,000 Jamaicans and creating a basis and a ladder for progress, promotion, and prosperity.
There are those whose sole task in life is to disparage success. Yes, like everything else, there are problems. But if you only focus on problems, you're going to have problems. And so you have to be balanced in your outlook, but you also have to be optimistic and positive in your outlook in order for there to be success. So whilst I well understand the challenges of the BPO sector, the truth is that it is the fastest growing employment creation endeavor, business
in Jamaica. And regardless of the complaints, it is putting income in the pockets of over 52,000 Jamaicans. It is creating a basis and a ladder for progress, promotion, and prosperity.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for that report. And those are the stories making news. We now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with the latest in sports.
Hi.